Okay, so we're going to add the zipper, and I messed up. Let me get, I put it on too short. So this is what it would look like, but then that's so dense. See how little that is? So, because I measured it from right here and not from right here. This is where the pocket actually ends, where I'm going to put the pocket. So, so we're going to do it again. And I'm just going to measure it. I am using this page from my digital kit, and we're going to just measure it and make sure it's right this time. Yeah. And just this. And cut it and be back. I measured it out, and it fits pretty good. I'm going to ink that out. But you can't, you know, you can bend it and it doesn't hit the edge where it's supposed to bend on either side. So it fits really good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the zipper. And I got this zipper from Walmart for like $1. I think $1. It was actually $1. So that's where I got it. It's a 7-inch zipper. And all we're going to do is we're going to add it to the paper and add a pocket. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, adding the zipper is super easy. It's not hard at all. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, you have to cut it, you have to measure it, you know, you always want this part to be right there at the tip. And then right here, you can always like fold it over or add some fabric or something like that so the zipper doesn't come off. So all we're going to do is we're going to cut the paper like right here. I'm going to cut it, I'm going to make a slit right here. So our pocket will be this thick. Now you can, you know, if your book is bigger or anything, you know, your pocket could be bigger. But since my book is really small, that is where the depth of my pocket is going to be. And so I'm going to slice it down this part. Just make a little mark. I'm going to slice it down that part. I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so I inked everything up, and I just took a scratch sheet of paper, and what I'm going to do with it is I am going to measure it out, because you want this to be the back. Even though you have the plain back of the book cover, you want something still to be, you know, in the back of it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to, you know, measure it out a little bit like that, and then I'm going to cut it. Once I cut it, I'm going to add my zipper. All right. So if I sound nasally, guys, it's because I caught a cold when I was on vacation, and I thought it was my allergies. Oh, I'm using Fabri-Tac, and it could be my allergies. I don't know. You know, they act really weird in different places. So we're gonna just make sure that is lined up like that. Make sure it's not buttoning up against. There we go. And you know what? Let me put something down to protect that. Okay. Now at this point, you can go with your sewing machine and sew around it. You know, sew it together, make it look really nice. But my sewing machine is having a behavior. And since I'm not feeling the best, I really don't want to fool with it. So that is why I am not sewing on the paper. Okay, Tonya, what did you do? Oh, dang it. I think I added. But you can, it doesn't matter. I know I think I added that upside down, but it should be okay. Okay. Really, really easy. Make sure I pulled it out a little bit. And if the cable is shaking. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's all you have. And that's really, really easy. And then you just take your piece that you cut for the backing and you just glue it down like that. So we will do that. And remember, guys, it is a pocket, so, you know, I'm weird like that. I've been glued everything and then come back and be like, oh man, I've did that before. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm doing this without my glasses. I need to put my glasses on. Okay. All right. So just press it down. Make sure everything's okay. I'm going to go back and ink that up a little bit more too. All right. And then for this part, I'm going to glue it down like a pocket as well to make it easier to open, even though you know you're not going to be able to put anything in there or anything like that, but just so it makes it easy to open. Okay. And then we just cut off the excess, and hopefully I can cut it straight. All right, there you go. And you have your zipper pocket, and it unzips, see? And you can put stuff in there. And that was super easy. It was not hard at all. Excuse me. I am going to take some old scissors and I'm just going to cut the remaining part of this off as even as I can. And right here, I'm just going to leave that part in like that. I don't know if I want to leave that right there. What I might do is I might cut it down and then add something there. So we'll see how bad it looks. If it looks really bad, then we'll do it like that. And yeah, I don't really like that. So we're going to cut this off, and I'm going to put some little fabric pieces like this right up against there so it doesn't, but before you cut it off, now let me tell you this, before you cut this off, make sure that your zipper is all the way down here, not up here, because that zipper will go flying, and trust me, it takes forever to put that thing back. How do you know, Tonya? From experience, guys, from experience, because that is the type of person I am. All right, and so just gonna put some glue onto this piece of lace I have here so that when I do that, it will not go off. Like that, and see? Oh my gosh, Fabri-Tac gets on my nerves when it does that. That whole volcano explosion thing. It feels like you're just wasting your money when it does that. You know, maybe it's just me. Okay, and there you go. And you're gonna zip it up like that. And now you have your zipper pocket. Now you take it and you glue it all the way down, which okay. Take it, make sure I glue over the mess that I made at first. Make sure it's right. Okay, and that part is done. Pretty easy, right? Excuse me. Okay, so now we are going to work on this part. And all right, guys. So we are going to do this part right here in the front. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I have this idea, and I love using envelopes. It's the easiest way for me. But of course you can use pieces of paper, whatever you have, or templates if you have templates. So what I think I'm going to do is have it to where it opens up like this. Well, I want this to be a pocket. I want this to open up. And I want some flaps coming, and I want it to be able to seal in the middle, like with the wax seal. But I don't want the wax seal to be permanent. So I'm going to figure that out. But in the meantime, all I did was I took an envelope, this size envelope. I think that's the legal size envelope. I think that's what, yeah. And then I took this baby envelope right here. And I just simply did it like this. Okay. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted the flaps that I'm going to put right here on either side right here, I wanted them to go behind, so I didn't want it to look like, it was an afterthought. So I think what I'm going to use for the flaps is, and I don't know if this is going to work, but I printed one of my papers out on vellum, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it the size of, where's my pencil? Of this envelope right here. Okay, and I'm going to just cut a straight line down there, and then I'm going to cut it in half. I don't know if I want to like round it or do anything with the corners yet. I haven't decided that yet. So that is my plan. I'm going to figure out what papers I want to cover this and to use and to do the wax seal. Well, I had a candle and it kind of like just melted, so I kind of wanted to use white wax and I didn't have that. So I'm going to melt this down and we're going to see if that works. I mean, you might as well, if you have a candle like this and you can't use it, you might as well scrape off the wax and try to recycle it. We'll see if it works. You never know. It might and it might not. We'll see together. So we are going to use this part right here. And then we're going to use this piece of paper for the inside like this. And then I'm thinking I'm going to cut this to be like right in the middle or something like that. We'll see. So that is the plan. I am going to ink everything up and fit my papers and be right back. Alright, so this is what it looks like. You open it up and then you have a pocket right here and then you have a pocket right here. Now, I was originally going to use this piece of vellum for the flaps, but I thought it would be too busy. So what I think I'm going to do is I have this plain piece of vellum and I have this embossing folder. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure it like I was going to do the first time. And I'm going to emboss the vellum. And then we will come back and see what we want to do with that. Okay. So I embossed it. And I cut it in half. So it's going to go like this. Like that. And then this piece is going to go like so. And to alright, so you can see that I cut some of that wax off. I'm gonna melt it down and see if that works for a wax seal. And this is how it's going to open, like this. And you're going to have a pocket right here. And of course you have a pocket right here. And in the pocket, to break up some of the color from the brown, I have these two photos. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Of the trip that I took a whole bunch of landscapes. So I have this one, and then I have this one, and then I have this one and some black and whites as well. Haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet. And then I'm thinking about adding a couple of my tags as well. And I'm going to put it together. And before I do the wax still, I'm going to come back and let you see what I did. Okay, guys, I just pushed out the wax seal idea, and I cut out, for my kit, I cut out some circles. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just put the circles here and wrap it like that. That makes it so much easier. If I can get it like right in the middle, because so we're just going to punch the hole. Just make sure I'm eyeballing it, and hey, I did it right. Yay. Okay. So that's how it's going to be. Sorry for shaking the camera. And then we're going to wrap it around with the brown. And then we're going to glue everything into place. Okay, guys, so we already did this one, and I think it came out really cool. So I picked out of the layouts that I did, I picked the one that had the flap that comes up and flap that comes down. So we're going to put that right here. So let's decorate this. I don't really know. I don't really have a plan on how I want to decorate it yet, but we will see. So it folds down like this, and then this part, paper clipped it, it folds out like that. Okay, and out like that. So I'm thinking what we're going to do first is, let's put these over to the side, kind of like how I had it laid out so I won't forget. And then here, I'm going to show you what I did. I just laid them out kind of like how I had it, you know, so I won't forget how I had it, because I will forget. So we are going to decorate this part first. And so in order to do that, you already know that you're going to have to glue this down. I'm leaving, I don't know if I'm leaving that as a pocket or what. So if I'm leaving this as a pocket, let me see. I might have it all. Let me make sure I have this right. Okay, this is the part. Okay. So this has to go like this because this is where it's going to get glued down. And then this is going to go inside like that, and that is going to go like that. So let's figure out what page we want to put right here. And I'm thinking I'm going to use I'm going to use this. I'm going to use part of this one. It's upside down, of course, but I'm going to use part of this one right in here as the base page of that. And that works. I just trace around. And then cut out. Okay, so what I did was, I got those out, but you guys already seen me do this. And all I did was, those pictures that I took from my vacation, I cut them out with a little bit of border around them, inked up. I glued the envelope to right here. And so that you'll have a little tuck like that. And you know this is going to slip on there like this. So you want this one to be a little bit higher than that one, so you can kind of see the blue peeking through. And then I have this piano roll, and I'm just going to put that piece right there, like a little piece right there, just because I think it looks nice. And it looks like tape. Guys, sorry, that's glue on my fingers. We have this, and we're going to just put it right there. And then we're going to add some Velcro to the closure. The little baby Velcro dots are amaze balls. I love them. And we're going to just take it and add that. And it's really that simple, guys. And that is your first layout. Now, I am going to add some dangles on it just because I think it'll look nice. And I am going to punch out, well, first, you know, you take this part out. All right, guys, so originally my plan was to have something cascading down like this, and that's what you see in the layout, so it's going to go like that. But I changed my mind. I actually put a hinge onto this, and it was going to come, let me show you, it was going to come like this, and then it was going to be able to open, and then, you know, it folds out like that, right? But when I started to look at it, I was like, that kind of looks like an owl's eye. And I didn't know if I really wanted that. So I decided just to save it for something else. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. So what I decided to do was, you know how you see those images on Pinterest and Instagram, and it's like snail mail and everything is stacked on top of each other, and it looks so pretty, right? So I was like, let's do something like that, right? So I have this envelope, and of course we already inked it up, and I have this one. So we'll do something like this. This paper right here is from Tim Holtz correspondence. So let's do that, and then what I'm thinking is I have this, I believe this is rice paper. So we're going to add some of that. And then I have a couple of my tags, and they're really big. So we're going to put those on there. And then I have some pictures that I took in New Mexico when we were on vacation. So I'm going to put some of those in there. And then I just have some ephemera pieces that I printed out and some that I cut out from a paper pad. So we're going to put that in there. I probably won't use this one because that is for something else. But we're going to use some of these. And then I have tags from Urban Landscape by AB Studios. So I was thinking about putting this image right here, or you know, put a couple of these. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, put a couple of these on there. And I got this too. So we're just gonna play and see how it turns out. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to see what papers I want for these. Okay, so this is how it looks. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. Okay. This is how it looks on this side. And then you have this and this. And I'm going to put some things in there. So we just add this in there like that. You know? Then we can add another picture like this. But what I'm going to do before that, I'm going to trim this up the same. Okay guys, excuse my desk, it is filthy, but I'm trying to get this video done, and I know you can see a shadow now because I have a light on and I don't have the windows open anymore because it's getting dark and it looks like it's gonna rain. So what we're gonna do is, like I said before, we're gonna use envelopes, and I'm just going to do something simple. I'm going to try to make it look complex, but it's really going to be simple. So I have this piece of packaging, I guess, is, what is that, acetate. And the only reason why I have it is because my daughter, she's an avid collector of Barbies, and she has a whole bunch of boxes and plastic that she donates to me when she gets a new doll. Because she does not keep them in the box because she says that ruins them. So I am going to trim this up, and I am going to use this, and I'm thinking it's going to be something like this. I want to have something coming right here, like kind of like this element to fasten it, but maybe I should do it. Maybe I should do it from top to bottom this time. No, I don't know. We'll see. I'll see. I just don't know yet. So, but I do know that I'm going to do this. So in order to do this, I have to make a little hinge onto here. And that is easy. I mean, you guys know how to make a hinge. You just get a plain piece of paper, and you cut it down, and then you fold it, and there's your hinge. All right, guys. So I have the plastic, and I have my spine piece. I'm going to ink everything up, and then how I'm going to attach it is I'm going to put this one in the back like this. Really, really easy. My hinge, I keep calling it a spine. I meant to say hinge. And then you just do it like that, you see? And that's it. That's easy as pie. And I'm going to ink everything up, and I'm going to pick out a background paper. I just haven't decided what background paper I want to do yet. And we'll go from there. Okay, so I pulled out 2 old papers. They're not really old, but they look old. 1990 is not really old. This is 20-some years ago. So what we're going to do is we're just going to collage this one. Okay, so we're on the last page. So what I did was I took a postcard and I put washi on it. This is a vintage postcard. And I put washi on it and it just flips out like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just stack a whole bunch of bits and pieces to make it look like a collage page. But we're not going to glue anything down. So when you get it, you'll be able to use the pieces as ephemera into your own journals. So I have 2 vintage postcards, one from 1939 and another one from 1956. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this one right here, and this one we're going to put right there so you can see that peeking out like that. And then I have a piece of a vintage airmail envelope, and this is a paper pad, and then I just have a little bits of scraps that of vellum that I printed out on. This is one that I bought, and this is another piece of that envelope. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stack it on there, kind of like this. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take the paper clip, and we're just going to paper clip everything to the one that flips out like that, so all of it can turn. So let's make sure we got everything peeking out like the way we want it to, like that. And let's put that down there like that. And that is how that looks. Okay, and then we are just going to leave this blank, and we're going to put some stuff in here. So I'm going to find the stuff that I want to put in there. I haven't found that yet. Oh my goodness. Look at that, guys. Okay. So that one's that. And then we are going to put that in there. But before we put this page in there, I want to talk about what I want to put in here and what I did with this. Okay, so I just had a digital layaway tag. I cut it to fit right here to make a pocket. And so I have a piece of cutoff paper. I have this and this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold them up, and I am going to stuff them in the pocket. Okay, and then I have these two. This is from my digital kit. I just cut a piece of the paper off. It was on a bigger piece, and I just cut it out. And then this is just a piece of scrap from Tim Holtz. So we're just going to put that into there. And let's slide it down a little bit more, like that. Like that. And I'm just going to slide this down just a little bit more. Get that string out of there. Okay. Now, I have this that I made a while ago, and all it is scraps piece of paper, and I folded them over, sewed it down the middle, and added some clear packaging, and made this right here mimic a packaging. That's all I did. And this is a tag from Urban Landscape, so we're just going to slide that into here like so, like that. And so this right here, what I'm going to do is I have a whole bunch of scrap piece of papers like this, and I have some watercolor paper that I dyed, and I have a lot of my sheets left over, you know, like scrap pieces of sheets and stuff like that left over, vellum. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take all of those and I'm going to put all of them in here. Real easy. And then I have this packaging from Amazon. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to put this as the cover, and I'm going to put all the papers in there. And I'm thinking I'm going to do something real simple, like just put a ribbon through there, or a piece of fabric, and then just slide the papers in there. That way they could stay in here, and then it'll be, it can go in here too. Okay guys, I got a lot of scrap pieces of paper, and you know what, I'm going to turn this around. So it could be right side up like that. And just black paper, just little, you know, scrap pieces of paper that I cut down. And then I have the cord that I don't know what kind of cord it is, like hemp cord. Is bead cording. That's what I use. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the easiest thing. And we're just going to take it like this. And I'm going to put that right there. And just line it up. And all we're going to do is you're just going to tie it. And that makes it really, really easy. See? Well, make sure it's the same length. And you're just going to bring it down to the bottom. And this should be, you know, it should, okay. There you go. And there you go. It's that easy. And then we're going to tie it off. Like this. Like that. And you can put some beads on here if you want to, but I think I'm just going to leave it. And I don't like how that looks, but it should be okay because it's packaging, so it should be fine, you know. That's why I chose the packaging. Make it like a rustic looking journal. And then, my bad, take it and you just are going to slide it in your elastic like, oh, come on. There you go. And now you have the journal in there, and you have all the pieces together, and it folds like so. And then you just string it in there, and I put glue onto those so that they can fit in there really easily. So make sure everything is, yeah, there you go. Okay. There you go. Make sure everything is right in the inside. Nothing is buckling or anything. And then you have it. And you just make a cute little bow. And there you go. It's done. See how cute that is? So, okay guys, it's done. I want to give a special thanks to Rachel at Roxy Creations for giving me a shout out. That was really, really sweet. And she didn't have to do that. That was just amazing. I made a little ephemera pack with the rest of the things that I had left over. And if you guys want to check out the beginning of this, I'll try to put a link somewhere in the description box or on the screen to give you the link to the first video of this. And I'm so sorry that it took so long. Life just happened, guys. I'm so sorry. But I hope you enjoyed the series. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you. Bye.